Hey.
Hey,
Good morning.
how you guys doing? I know it's been like a month since I did a video or a tarot reading, and I have very good reason for that. As you can see by the title, which the title is Spiritual Warfare, the Empath versus the Narcissist and Gaslighting, or the Gaslighting Narcissist. I've been watching the tarot readings because I keep a pulse and looking at the astrology too, both tropical and Vedic. And the readings, it's all over the readings about empaths waking up to the fact of being gaslit and narcissistic abuse by friends, families, co-workers, doctors, bosses, yeah, and friends,
Yep.
supposed friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we decided we're gonna do a series on it and how the empath is targeted by these narcissists. And they can be, there's different types of narcissist, but we're going to be addressing the different types, but I'm really focused on the spiritual warfare aspect of this, because like Gabriel calls the people running the planet right now the great pretenders. The spiritual narcissists are great pretenders too. And I've been through, and my husband, we both have been through this particular situation. So,
Well, my abuse, quote unquote, was definitely not as severe, but there was some of it there for sure. So
yeah. So here's the thing. This is a frank discussion about it. Many people say that narcissists cannot be cured, and I disagree. First of all, there's varying levels of narcissism. Everybody will show narcissistic tendencies in just their day-to-day living. That doesn't make you a narcissist. What makes you a narcissist, it's the reason the World card and the Wheel of Fortune came out, because it's a cycle, it's cyclical. They go around and they keep repeating the same bad behavior, expecting a different result, and they keep getting the same result. And yeah, it's a matter of them becoming self-aware enough to realize they're doing what they're doing and the reasons behind why they do what they do. And that takes a lot of deep reflection and meditation. And most of these people that are narcissists, they avoid that at all cost. Some examples of if you meet somebody that doesn't like to be alone, or says that their only friends are animals, that's a red flag.
well, some people that never will be enough, right? For example, I'm just gonna call my mom out because that was definitely a huge red flag in her behavior, and I noticed that years and years back. It's never enough, right? What it was, she wants this, she wants that, immaterial stuff, right? And like, I want this plant, I want to have facial surgery, I want to have an aquarium, I want to have a new dog, I want to have this in the yard, I want to have that in the yard. And my father was giving, doing, and never being satisfied.
Yeah.
I can only guess um, what's going on right now. I don't talk to her anymore, so but yeah, it was definitely a trait that I observed in my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we're going to talk about our own experiences. I personally was raised by narcissists, two of them. And the narcissist behavior is a learned behavior. It's also a mental health issue. And there's levels to it. You know, it used to be, the terminology used to be sociopath. And I guess there might be some differences, but they came up with this new name, narcissist, and it seems to be the catchphrase now. There's varying levels and degrees of how narcissistic a person is. And it has a lot to do with how long they've been getting away with the pattern and not being stopped in their tracks. Anyway, I do know that many of you have suffered through that particular gaslighting from narcissist, and it's really interesting because I've been surrounded by narcissists. When you're an empath, they tend to flock towards you, unfortunately. And I'm going to talk about the different characteristics, the things to look for. Gabriel, he's been so, him and Ed and I both have been so instrumental. They're my team. They're the ones that help me do those fantastic readings that I do with the kind of accuracy. I couldn't do it without them, let's put it that way. They've been very instrumental in waking me up to the fact that I had very negative energy in my midst, and it was to my health detriment, my husband's health, and other people surrounding the narcissist. And I know if any of you have been watching the readings or watching the astrology, a whole bunch of you are going through this right now. So it's the best time to talk about it and help you guys process and get through it. And learn how to stand in your power. Learn how to, because even somebody like me that has a team that helped save my ass quite literally this time. You know, I fell for somebody's narcissistic patterns. And the first thing that you'll notice, and it's something that I've noticed, especially when it's not people that you grew up around or family, people outside of that. If you feel, because we're empaths, we have the ability to empathize with other people and put ourselves in other people's shoes. And if you find yourself feeling sorry for somebody, that's a huge red flag. That means that the person is likely a narcissist that's in some sort of cycle. That's one of the things, two of the biggest narcissists I've had in my life over the past, 5 to 10 years. That's exactly how they got in through the door. Because usually my walls are up pretty good, But that's how they got through the door, was I felt sorry for them. I've had this last occurrence was freakish because they sent me, and this is us all learning how to survive in this duality, you know, the moon card and the sun card kept coming out in the readings, and the lover's card. What they were talking about in those readings when those cards kept coming out was the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. And they were talking about people being twin flames, when it was actually not a twin flame. It was somebody quite literally operating out of their dark side, and somebody on the other end operating out of their light side.
Yeah, I do get that they come to that conclusion about that, because that's like the unification of opposites, right?
Right.
That could be in two people. I feel personally in tarot, based on my studies, that's like within the person themselves, right?
Yeah.
Fusing the left brain and the right brain. Right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is also, I mean, those of us that were on the receiving end of the gaslighting and things like that, we've all gone through the dark night of the soul, because we recognize those behaviors. We've actually, like I said, everybody has some narcissistic tendency occasionally. You know, you'll say something or do something, and then you'll think, oh, that was ugly, you know, that wasn't good. And you know it. That's the difference between somebody that's awake and somebody that's not.
Yeah.
And somebody that's done the work and somebody that hasn't. But yeah, it was really weird, because this last time they sent me somebody that was just like my mother, right down to the same sun sign. And the freakish synchronicities between the two of them. Some of their characteristics that they shared were their very fear-based lack mentality. They both had that. And when you're around that kind of negative energy that's fear-based and lack mentality, it starts rubbing off on you. Anyway, that's part of the reason I stopped doing readings, because it was affecting my ability to perform what I do. And I heavily count on accuracy, because to me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, admittedly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, OCD all the hell and back.
Yeah.
And the truth has always been my main focus. My main mission is the truth. And so I didn't feel like I was going to be reliable enough to do the readings, first of all, because I was identifying I've got a problem in my midst and I need to clear the negative energy. And Gabriel and I were very instrumental in doing and helping me with that. Some of you don't have that kind of help, I guess, or don't recognize that you have that. Your higher self, or if you have a team like I do. Yeah. So.
Yeah, when we talk about the sun and the moon card, right? I was talking to her this morning as well. The sun cards, a lot of people say it's happiness, right? It could be happiness, absolutely. But what I've learned about it is truth, right?
Truth and enlightenment.
Truth and enlightenment, and yeah, a bunch of other meanings. But the opposite, right, is the moon. So
yeah,
that's anything but the truth.
And the moon card can also mean two-faced.
Yep.
Somebody being
Definitely.
Two-faced. And same thing with the Queen of Wands. That kept popping up in the readings. And the Queen of Wands can be somebody that wears a false mask.
Yeah.
and being deceptive. So, and the Seven of Swords was coming out constantly, and the Five of Swords, defeat by unfair advantage.
But the Moon card is also very much moving into the animalistic behavior, right? And that is basically what I feel that to be is me, me, me. And that turns back to the narcissistic behaviors, right?
Yeah,
because
and
it's about
you're
control.
never, with a narcissist, you're never going to be good enough. And what you do is never enough.
Yeah.
It's never enough. You can't fill that cup.
Yeah. It's
And
like,
that's the Ace of Cups kept coming upward, upright and upside down, both, in the readings too.
yeah, like I said in the beginning, like my mom hoarding stuff, right?
My mother
hoarding stuff.
and this other person, the other Gemini, they both do that. It's fear and lack mentality that they're operating out of.
My
and
mom's
that's
an
how,
Aquarius, though.
Yeah, yeah, his mom's an Aquarius. I am tropical Aquarius, Sagittarius rising, but I'm a Vedic Capricorn Scorpio rising. And my stinger is out.
Wasn't that
Trust.
like a cusp? Yeah, I'm a cusp Gemini too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you in tropical are a cusp Gemini.
Yeah.
Almost, kind of. He's kind of right. He's at 25 degrees in tropical. But in Vedic, he's riding a definite Aries cusp. For sure, in the cusp. Like, yeah.
Well, you got to look at what's going down as well. I'm not exhibiting those behaviors, right?
No, no.
Like Gemini behaviors, I do not have that.
No.
Not to my knowledge.
No. It doesn't seem like it anyway.
Seems
Except
like
for
all
your
Taurus.
ability that you communicate well.
Yeah.
Because Geminis generally, it's ruled by Mercury. They're generally good at communicating. Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I got a lot to learn as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to do a series on this because there is a huge amount of people on the planet right now that just went through this or are going through it currently. And so I wanted to put this out here because there, like everything, everybody's putting in their 2 cents on it. And that's fine. If it helps them heal, yay.
Yeah.
Okay, if it makes them feel better.
This is all about awareness, right?
Yeah, it's awareness. And the fact is, I believe that a narcissist can heal and stop that behavior and stop that cycle of abuse and gaslighting.
But
I think it's possible.
Open for it.
But they have to realize they have the problem. It's kind of like a drug addict. They have to realize they have the problem and then be willing to fix it. And it's funny because Gabriel, he was telling me in this particular case, because the person's very fear-based and all that, he told me, he said, her children are more likely to make ascension than she is. And yet she's all worried about keeping her children alive if shit were to hit the fan. And Gabriel's telling me her children are more likely to make it than she is.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, narcissist can raise narcissists because it is a learned behavior. Empaths are really guilty of raising narcissists because we're over empathetic and we don't say no, the word no, enough. And before we really wake up, our boundaries aren't heavy enough, basically, our protection. So teaching you guys about how to protect yourself, how to identify people that are operating out of that negative behavior and pattern, and not to get sucked into that cycle with them. I tell you what, I can spot them a mile away, and it's not happening again, ever.
But this behavior is also very much learned, you know. Every behavior is learned through the environment. It's kind of like a computer. Input, processing it, and then output, right? So this is learned through parenting, friends, TV, books, media,
and
everywhere.
The current establishment, and that's all the world governments, are operating completely, they're being operated by a bunch of damn narcissists.
Me, and they're giving everybody...
And everybody's too scared to tell them, no, we're not having it. We have boundaries. Right?
They're giving their behavior to the normal human being, which is all about me, because that's their game, right? All about controlling the world.
Yeah, they want control. So, and that's what a narcissist wants. They want to control. They want to minimize you, dominate you. I mean, this whole thing that I just went through, the person actually was copying me and trying to be me. It was freaking me out.
I call that, well, I got it from Mark Basho, but he calls it the mini-me syndrome.
Mini-me syndrome, yeah.
Like Dr. Evil, and he's got like this little
mini-me
person, and he's like totally like him, but not as big, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the government puts out into the media, everything, how do you call it, social media, everywhere. It's learned behavior. So it can be undone, but they have to be willing to be open for it
and face themselves in the mirror.
Yeah, like physically really do it, and asking yourself, what piece of crap am I? What have I done?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And the damage that they do. Horrible.
Really hard contemplation on it, and that is the only way they can get out of that mindset.
Yeah. Luckily, I have the benefit of a team. And, yeah, they saved my ass hardcore this time. Yeah. They've saved my ass many times, but this was a big one. And, yeah, I count myself extremely fortunate. Extremely. Anyway, so Gabriel wanted me to talk to you guys about all this. And if you look at the screen, typically gaslighting, they seek to gain power and control over the other person by distorting things. They'll use word salad. People are calling it. That's also why the magician kept popping up in the deal. It was about manifesting, but manifesting in a negative way, which is using, Gabriel kept telling me spin doctor every time I saw the magician. It's a spin doctor, somebody that spins and distorts the truth or reality to suit the circumstances and to confuse their victim.
I experienced that hardcore with my mom.
Yeah, they'll keep talking so fast that you just go into meltdown confusion and don't even want to fight them over it, because you can't fight that, because they don't make any damn sense.
My experience
with my mom, they have zero logic.
My experience with my mom was about my wife sitting next to me, and out of thin air she would try to sow confusion in my mind and bring self-doubt. That was exactly what she did, and for no reason at all, based on one video she saw of her doing on Divine Help.
It wasn't for no reason. She was going to lose you, and she knew it.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
it was about controlling him. Her reality, what she decided that the people around her. She had plans for them. And when those plans got disrupted because somebody new was in the picture, oh, snap.
But it was very much, well, I see it kind of because she loved me too.
Yeah.
I consider her my soulmate, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We think alike in a very big way. But in that particular way, absolutely not. I recognized even back then, like, you're crazy. Where do you get these things? I'm not even going to repeat what she said, but it was like everything. Every bad thing you can say about a person, she threw that at me, and like every day almost. It was, yeah, 9 out of 10 days. It was about her, and I was like going through hell with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've been gaslit, and this very behavior that his mom did, my entire life. So, because I'm an empath, and they're drawn to me like, you know, a moth to a flame, right?
And it majorly affected what happened as well, because if she would have been normal about that whole situation, maybe I would have brought Dee over to Belgium.
Yeah, I was totally down to go to Belgium.
That totally affected me in a big way. So I was like, okay, the whole family turned against me. Well, not all of them, but luckily my brothers still, I still contact them. But I said, when I got here for a second time, I said, I don't want to go back to that. So, and I stayed. So that's what went down. But it could have gone way better.
Yeah.
If she would just not.
There's
did that.
other people surrounding a narcissist that have varying levels of narcissism themselves, and there's some people that have channels devoted to recovering from a narcissist relationship, and one of them calls it the flying monkeys. He calls the people that revolve around the narcissist and stay in that loop. They don't want the narcissist focused on them, so they'll agree with the narcissist and feed that behavior and help attack the victim.
Oh yeah, I've seen that on social media.
Or they won't stand up for the victim. They just allow it to continue. Oh, that's just so and so. That's just how they are. It's okay. Get over it. Don't worry about it.
That's just who she is.
Yeah.
That's just who
that behavior is just as ugly as the narcissist behavior.
Equally guilty.
Equal.
Yeah.
Equal partners in crime. Absolutely.
Letting things happen.
So if you don't stand up for yourself, for others around you that are being treated in such a manner, you're just as guilty as the narcissist is. What I'm trying to say, a lot of people on the narcissist channels for the recovery are saying narcissists can't be cured, which I don't believe. They're also saying that don't confront the narcissist because it won't do you any good, because it doesn't, except for the fact that if you stand in your power and you use the word no, you're not doing that. It stops them in their tracks. Okay? And that word is probably your best kryptonite against a narcissist, the word no.
Yeah, there's double meanings. N-O and K-N-O-W, right? No and no.
Yeah, because I know. Because I see right through you.
That's the lost word. Well, words.
And that's another thing. A narcissist will always try to get in the last word in a conversation. You know, if you're having an argument with them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I experienced that hardcore.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So, anyway, my husband and I just experienced that. We're going to talk about that. But I had a fantastic amazing, the most brilliant text messaging session with my oldest daughter. And unfortunately, she was probably one of the top abusers of me in the past. And but she woke up and she realized, oh, what was that, 6 months ago? That she called me and she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Around.
She goes, I'm really, really sick and the doctors are gaslighting me. Mm-hmm. And now I realize that that's what you went through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about 6 months.
And she was one of the worst offenders of gaslighting me. And, you know, and teaming up with other people in the family that had gaslighted me in the past.
See, that's where
things
an
like
apology comes in.
Yeah.
A true, sincere apology.
Yeah, she came
that needs
to the realization.
Happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, forgiveness is out of the picture.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're going to do a series. It's going to be ongoing on this channel, along with tarot readings, of course. I could not do sun sign tarot readings because I was so heavily affected. It was messing with my energy, and the reading's accuracy would have gone down the tubes, and the recent offenders' sun sign, rising sign, and stuff like that, I would have been heavily skewed in retaliatory feelings while doing the reading. So it would have skewed the reading for the other people that carry that sun sign, and I would have been doing as bad or worse than the narcissist. So I had to pull back from the readings because I wasn't going to do you all that kind of disservice. And,
yeah, you can kind of compare it to a person, a tarot reader. Just an example, right? Now the tarot reader has been cheated on by husbands, right? If that person would be doing a tarot reading or multiple tarot readings, you can bank that tarot reading or readings is going to be heavily affected by that, you know, because every bad she or he sees, is going to be, oh, it's cheating, you know, because that happened to the reader.
Yeah, and I've seen tarot readers that have something against a particular sun sign, and it's not the people that are watching the video that they're targeting. It's somebody that hurt them in their life, and it's affecting their readings. And I definitely didn't want that to happen at all. So I had to pull back until I processed what was happening. Because you know me, me and my weird super intellect that has to decipher what in the hell is going on and why, and how can we fix this. You know?
And it was not the only thing going on. A lot other stuff too, like with the house and somebody moving out, and
it's been it's been rough.
A blender and soup, right? Like
it's been a pressure cooker.
Yeah,
it's been a pressure cooker.
Kinds of stuff. From all
we've been blended. We've been what do you call it?
Mashed.
Food processors.
To
put through the grinder, and then thrown in the pressure cooker, and then back out again, over and over again on that wheel of fortune, round and around and around.
I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna do live tarot readings, and something always came up.
Yeah, it was constant. It was just constant. Yeah.
So
anyway, Gabriel wanted me to give you guys a song, and he evidently gave one to Nell too. But the song he wanted you guys to listen to, and it is going to be basically a theme song for what's happening to all of you, is the band is U2, and the song is With or Without You. If you listen to the song, it's about a narcissistic cycle. And Gabriel's given me that song a lot of times because he feels like I give too much of myself for free. So he wants me to change that. And so there'll be changes on the channel because I'm not going to just give myself away anymore. Anyway, so there's that. But this channel is about helping you guys as much as I can without giving too much of myself at the same time. That's going to be a tight wire act that I've got to figure out how to walk. But, and then Nell, he was given a song by the Police. Which one was that?
I'll Be Watching You.
Yeah, I'll Be Watching You.
No, not in this context of
Every breath you take.
Every breath you take.
Every step you make.
Yeah.
I'll be watching you.
I don't know if it's about narcissism, but it's definitely a very creepy energy with that. And it came to mind, I was like, a long time ago. But yeah, it came to talk with me indeed today. I was like, that's actually a very disturbing
It's something
song
that a narcissist would do, too.
Yeah. Control, right?
Yeah.
Like, do what I say or I'll do that kind of behavior, right?
Well, this isn't the first narcissist that I've run to with spiritual warfare, as you remember. Yeah. So it's not the first time, especially because this is a type of spiritual warfare. It is the light against the dark. And it's funny because they were giving me dreams, and one of the dreams, in the dream, somebody I walked by said, everybody keeps telling me they have STDs, and and it cracks me up now, but what they were talking about in the dream was spiritually transmitted demons or sexually transmitted demons. It can go either way. And they were referring to this person that I've just recently walked away from that is a narcissist and was gaslighting the hell out of me. And that made me doubt myself, my intuition, and made me pull back from doing readings because that negative energy was in my space and I had to get it, clear it totally. And they're also trying to teach me how to spot one so I can help you learn how to spot them. I've grown up around them my whole life. I've been gaslit my whole life. So I think I can speak out of an authority position on it, to say the least.
Yeah, for you it was so wall-to-wall that you didn't even notice it, right? I guess.
Yeah, because when you're raised around it and you're surrounded by it, you don't realize that it's even wrong what's happening. You think that's just normal behavior because that's all you ever witnessed, pretty much. So, yeah. So hopefully my story will help some of you and help you process all this, get it out of your system. If you are narcissistic, I hope you watch this channel too, because I think there's hope for you. I think you can break that cycle. Because, well, one of the traits, many narcissists are very charming and funny people. And that's the false mask that they wear. And they perfect it. But I think if they can pull and do that inner work and get rid of that darkness, the dark side of themselves, that is, I think they can in the end heal and make ascension too. But it's them realizing that they are indeed a narcissist, and healing from their wounds and their cycle they were raised in that made them do what they do. Generally, narcissists are very fear-based. They're very, they feel inadequate. And they take pleasure in hurting others and putting them down because it makes them feel higher or above them. Yeah. So they have their own wounding that they have to learn how to process so that they can heal, so that they quit being the offenders that everybody's dealing with. And everybody, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you're just supposed to walk away and all that. And I'm like, no, you need to stand up, be counted, and tell them, no, we're done putting up with it. We're done with the narcissist in the government. We're done with our narcissist families. We're done with our narcissist friends. We're not going to work for companies run by narcissists. And we're just done. All of us are. Because we're literally, that's what's running everything right now, is a pack of narcissists. And they're trying, that's why narcissism is at such a high level right now, is because it is a learned behavior. And they're teaching everybody the me, 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 me. Nell, it was driving him crazy doing free readings because people, the memes would come in to the room and I'm next. I'm next, instead of patiently waiting. You know, or cussing you out when you're giving a free reading. The audacity. And so if that crap happens on our channel ever again, we're going to call it out. And we're going to block the F out of you. Okay? So if you act narcissistic on our channel, you're history. Done.
Yeah, but they're not even going to watch this video because they're just roaming YouTube for any free reading, you know? They do that everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? They're not going to watch a video like this.
Yeah. Anyway, so anybody that's got that me attitude, narcissistic BS going on, this channel's not going to tolerate it. Ever. So anyway, we'll go into details. I think it'd be cool to, because, you know, family members waking up to the narcissistic gaslighting and stuff like that. I think it'd be really cool to talk about some of that. But we had some really wild stuff happen this morning where there's hope. That's why the star card keeps coming out, the hope and healing, right? And the temperance card. Mixing the cups of hope and faith, right? And patience, right? You don't have to be patient and tolerate that kind of behavior. What they're telling you is it's a time to heal. And if that means you need to walk away, that's why the 8 of Cups was coming out constantly. That's what you should do.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because a narcissist isn't going to stop until enough people walk away and say no, you know.
It's funny that...
And quit being a flying monkey, quit supporting narcissistic behavior.
It's funny that you mentioned temperance, because remember when I told him unification of opposites, right? That being on that card, and EA weights is androgynous.
Mm-hmm.
You got both energies.
Yeah.
Bringing peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it represents.
Yeah, and that's what this channel is about.
Mm-hmm.
Truth, clarity, and peace. Because that's one thing I am dying for. Literally. And I kept telling Gabriel in my head via telepathy, I just want peace. That's all I want. Peace, tranquility, harmony, and not having to feel like you have to stand your ground and fight all the time. You know? That's one thing you'll find. A narcissist gets in a lot of fights. And they lose friends constantly, and then they'll reel them back in, you know. They'll lose contact for a while, and that person forgets just how horrible they were to them, and they love bomb them and reel them back in. And that was happening to me, by the way, and my husband. That cycle of walking away and getting reeled back in. Well, there ain't enough fishing line on the planet to reel me back in ever again. I can tell you that right now. Anyway, this was our first video in a series. I'm going to be back doing readings because my healing process came full cycle today. And I can do the readings without letting what's happened skew the readings at all, because there's other brilliant Geminis and others out there that are walking a true spiritual path, and they're not a narcissist, and they deserve the best reading they can get from me.
Like I said, it comes down to how they grow up, what information they have taken in.
Yeah.
So it's not really a particular sign, I feel.
Yeah.
Some might be more prone, but
yeah. It's just they're just not self-aware. Yeah. They've gotten away with it for so long, and like I said, I think the length of time they've gotten away with that behavior, you know, one of the comments a narcissist will make, they'll either like me or they won't. I don't care what they think. If you stop caring what other people think, that's a sure sign and a red flag. Huge red flag.
Yeah.
If you've got people, they either like me or they either love me or they hate me. You got to ask yourself why.
Yeah. What's the
why?
issue here?
Why is that? And they love them because of their charm and their wit, because like the one I was dealing with is very charming, very witty, really, really funny. Yeah. You know, a lot of really good qualities, but then comes the bad. And those good qualities show when they're in the love bomb phase and they're trying to reel you back in. And then the ugly starts coming back out. Anyway, we got to go.
Yeah, maybe I'll do readings tomorrow.
Yeah,
maybe.
We really want this channel to help you guys heal. Yep. It'll help us at the same time.
And just bring you guys aware that this is going on.
And in the comments, talk about your stories. Help each other. That's what we're here for. Talk about what happened with you. And if you see somebody else's comment underneath the video, you know, comment to them. You know, help each other out. We're all going to help each other get through this. But like I said, I think we can heal the narcissist. We just have to stand up and say no.
Yeah, it really depends on them, because they're going to have to want to.
Yeah, I know, but we have to start saying no and putting down the boundary.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
But it's kind of like a heroin addict. Nobody can force them to quit. They have to quit. You know?
And as you see on the screen, it says it makes you question your own judgment and intuition. And
I experienced
that exactly is what happened. I started questioning my own ability. And when that happens, if I'm not solid for sure about the reading I'm doing, dates are going to be off. All kinds of things are going to go off kilter. And that's what the narcissist wanted. They wanted to control, to dominate, push me down, and take my crown. It's funny because Cindy from Awakening to Spirit, that's exactly what they were talking about. That somebody from the village was trying to steal a crown and trying to be that person. And that's what was happening. Anyway, have a really grand week ahead, and a lot more coming from this channel. And I hope what we talk about helps you guys.
Yeah.
That's the main reason for what we do. What we do. Trying to help.
Yeah.
Without giving ourselves away too much. Gabriel just added that 2 cents. Anyway, have a really good one, guys.
Yeah. See you later.
Later.
Bye.